Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Tomorrow is spring, so I figured this backdrop would be perfect. I'm going to wait a little bit. I just want to make sure that we can get some people on here before I start talking. Hope you're having a beautiful Sunday. Getting ready for spring, new beginnings, new shifts, new opportunities. I wanted to talk to you today about something personal, actually. Addiction. So I am I am wanting to shift my perspective on foods. And I've been really thinking about it the last few days. And I realized that I needed to go within into this inner being of mine. And I needed to remember how I shifted my perspective on smoking. And so I thought that I would share this with you because I know that we are all kind of addicted to something. And smoking cigarettes is one of the biggest things. It's shown that it's fun. It's a rite of independence when you're younger. There's a lot of reasons why an addiction attaches to you. And you don't even realize that it's happening most of the time. It becomes part of your world. It's a world, the world of addiction just kind of seeps into your world. And it happens slowly. You don't even realize that you're addicted. And then you don't really know it until you try to stop it, right? So I wanted to share with you my experience of quitting smoking. I started smoking when I was about 10. I was really intrigued by it. My father smoked cigarettes, and he was a very stressful man, had a lot of stress on him. And I noticed that when he smoked, he calmed down. And so I kind of learned that, that smoking equaled kind of calming down. I remember my dad worked nights, and I remember waking up in the middle of the night, and I would walk into the kitchen, and I would see him in the living room, and all the lights would be out, but I could still see the light from his cigarette, shining in the darkness. Hi, Ian. So very early on, I had a relationship with smoking. As I got older, I realized that I was living in a very dysfunctional family. God, I can't believe I'm saying this. And so at nighttime, I would sneak into my dad's ashtray, and I would take his cigarette butts. And I would open up my back window in my bedroom, and I would smoke my dad's cigarette butts. Sounds horrible, right? But at the time, I just put two and two together. I thought, one, it was an independence thing. It was a rebellion thing, too. But it was also almost a way for me to help with the stress of my family, of living in the household that I lived in. And I carried on that belief for a long time that cigarettes were a good part of me, really. Later on down the road, I would go and have coffee with my girlfriends. And, coffee and cigarettes hand in hand, right? I was cool, I was cute, it was a fun thing. What a great, cool way of getting to know someone. You could just ask for a lighter, if someone was cute. It was like a connection thing. And then down the road, when I moved to Santa Barbara, I didn't know anybody. I moved down there with no family and no friends, in a place that I felt so connected to. I didn't know why. I just knew I had to live there. And I remember having very sad nights. And I would go around the corner, there was like a little 7-Eleven down the way. And I would go get my pack of cigarettes. And I called them my 20 best friends. 20 best friends. So addiction is a relationship. There's a relationship. There's a world that's involved in an addiction. Hi, Rosemary. Thank you for being here, honey. There's an addiction. There's an addicted. There's a addictee and addictor. And for me, it was cigarettes. Cigarettes were in my life for a long, long time. I looked at it as a bonding experience with my dad. It was a beautiful experience, actually. It was one of the most powerful ways of bonding with my dad, because he smoked, you know. So as I got older, I'd have my pack of cigarettes when I go visit, and him and I would smoke cigarettes together. And, you know, I felt bonded with him. I could use his lighter. I don't know, there was a connection there. And I was okay with that connection. You know, I was okay with it. And you're okay with it. I didn't know I would cry. I didn't know I would get so emotional about this. But you do. You become, it becomes part of your life, addiction. Whether you're addicted to foods, addicted to cigarettes, addicted to other drugs. And until something happens, you don't realize that you're addicted to it. And then you have to ask yourself, what's stronger? Is it what I'm addicted to, or is it me? And sometimes that's a hard question to ask. So years and years ago, I was in a relationship for 5 years. And when I met this man, he told me I had to quit smoking. He said he wanted someone that was healthy, someone that he could spend his life together with, someone that, you know, I could do exercise and go do stuff, and I'd be able to breathe easier and everything. And so I quit. I quit for 4 years. And the day that we broke up, I went and bought a pack of cigarettes. I bought a pack of cigarettes as a rebellion. I bought a pack of cigarettes because I had quit smoking for him and not for me. And I knew that. I knew the minute that we broke up, that's the first place I went to. I went to my comfort place. I went to my 20 best friends. I went to a place where I felt that it was my independence, right? It was, I could do it now. He wasn't around, so I could do it. It's a real sick part of addiction when you're addicted to something. You end up becoming friends with it. It becomes part of your life. It becomes part of your day. You have one before breakfast, after breakfast. You have one on a good day when you're happy. You have one when you're sad. It becomes part of this flow in your life. It slowly seeps into your world, and you don't even know it until you try to stop it. Thank you, Rosemary. Thank you. Real quickly, I got a new phone. Can you see how clear this picture is? It's amazing, right? You guys can hear me, right? Can you thumbs up or heart me just so I know that there's no lag, that everything is going good? It sounds like I'm doing good, so. So I wanted to connect with you about addiction. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you so much, Marie. Or Mary, I'm sorry. Awesome. Thank you, Rosemary. Yay. No more lag, no more choppiness. All right. So, addiction is hard. It's not easy. It's not easy until you tell yourself that it's easy. So I smoked for another few years. I smoked all the way until 2014. My dad passed away. He passed on. And I smoked all the way through his funeral. I smoked all the way through our family reunion get-together, celebrating his life. And when I came home, because I was up in San Jose, and when I drove back to Vegas, which is where I was living at the time, I said, no, I said I wanted more. I wanted more for my life. See, I had always wanted my dad to quit smoking. The ironic part of this is that I always tried to make him stop. I wanted him to stop smoking. I wanted to have more time with him. I wanted wanted more time with him. But he was very, very addicted. And he was, in his mind, addicted. He tried a few times to quit smoking, but whenever he did, his mind, right, his addiction, his ego told him that he couldn't do it, and so he'd go back to it. And as the years went on and on, I could see that he was having trouble breathing. I could see, and he still kept smoking. And I would smoke with him because I finally had just accepted the fact that he wasn't going to quit. And he would say to me, look, I've only got so many years left. I enjoy smoking. I'm going to smoke. Deal with it. That was it. And so I learned unconditional love. I learned to love him and his smoking. But when he passed away, when he passed on, he never is away, I decided for myself that I wanted more in my life. I wanted to be healthy. And I also wanted to know that I had the control, that I could stop. I am powerful. I am a beautiful, powerful being that's connected to Source, that's connected to so much power and so much guidance. And I know that the true being inside me didn't want me to smoke. It didn't want me to smoke because it wasn't healthy for me. It wasn't purifying this beautiful temple. It was adding toxins to it. And it wasn't good for my soul anymore. It never was. But it's until you start looking at your addiction differently. You just have to pull the focus away from the addiction. And you have to look at it with a different perspective. Hi, Michelle. You're awesome, Jennifer. You always seem to know when I... Oh, good. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. I woke up this morning and I felt so guided to have this video with you guys. I feel like this video can really help you hear it better than you have before. That's my goal anyway. So addiction, so I bought this book years ago. It was called How to Quit Smoking the Easy Way. Because for years, I'd always wanted to quit smoking. I knew it. There was a part in my head, there was a part in my heart that said, I know you want to bond with your dad, and I know you're alone, and I know that you've got this addiction, there's a control on you, but there's a part of me always that knew I wanted to stop it. But I would stop listening to that voice. I would allow the addiction to be stronger than that voice inside me, than that true being, that light, that love for me. I would stop it. I would stop listening to it. I would turn it off. I would turn it away. I would focus on something else. But one of the times that I tried to listen to it, I bought this book, and it was called How to Stop Smoking the Easy Way. And it was really powerful. What it was like 8 or 10 chapters. And in the very beginning of the book, it said, hi Anna, it said, I want you to continue to smoke your cigarettes as you're reading this book. I thought that was really weird, because I'd always thought they would come up with something that said, stop smoking. This is bad for you, this is this, this is that. No, it said, continue to do your addiction while you're reading this book. And so I did. As I started to read this book, I smoked, my usual, I had my pack of cigarettes and my special little lighter, and I even had a little cigarette case, with my cigarettes in it. It was a fashion thing almost, too, for me. But I kept smoking and I kept reading this book. And as I read this book, each chapter talked about a lie that they tell you of what cigarettes do for you and what the truth is. And so as I was smoking my cigarettes, a chapter would come up and say, smoking is wonderful for anxiety and stress, and it calms you down, and it does this and this and this. And then it would say the truth. And the truth is that it raises your blood pressure. It adds so much toxins into you. It adds carbon monoxide into you. It takes away your oxygen. It suppresses the cells in your lungs. There's so many detrimental effects of smoking that you don't even realize it. I mean, I could list it on and on and on. So what I did was I started looking at my cigarettes differently. I looked at them differently. Every time I lit up a cigarette, suddenly that was in my head. You know? When I was stressed out, I looked at them and I said, okay, you know what? This didn't help me when I was stressed. Yes, it made me breathe. That's what I thought. I thought, you know what? Cigarettes, at least I can inhale and I can exhale. But I could do that without cigarettes. And so I started to shift my perspective on cigarettes. And then that's when I started realizing that a lot of the things that we're told, that we're programmed by commercials, by cigarette companies, by the government, by friends, by family, is wrong. That it really is not good for me. That everything I thought was a lie. And when I started to look at cigarettes differently, when I changed my perspective on my addiction, that's when I was able to stop them. Now, I finished the book and I kept smoking. I'm not going to lie. It didn't stop me from smoking. But what it taught me was how important it was to shift your perspective. And then years later, when I was ready, because that's what it is. It's finally when you're ready, when you finally get to the point when you realize that it's time. Your body tells you it's time. It's that little voice that gets louder and louder and louder. Or a circumstance, someone passes away from cancer. Or you have some health issue. It's some way that the universe yells at you a little bit louder and says, stop. You're alive and you're loved and you're light and you deserve better than this. Your children deserve better than this. Your body deserves better than this. You have so much to live and so much to experience, and I want you healthy. You're supposed to be in well-being. Well-being abounds. And go with that. That is your path of least resistance. Not smoking. Not your addiction. So when that time finally came, I realized I could shift my perspective. And so that's what I did, sweet beings. I shifted my perspective. I came home from my father's funeral. And the next morning, I woke up and I said, I'm a non-smoker. That's it. I'm a non-smoker. I woke up the morning before as a smoker, and today I wake up as a non-smoker. And I threw away my lighter. I threw away my ashtray. I threw away my cigarettes. I threw away anything at all that reminded me of smoking. And I shifted my perspective. I changed it. I changed my perspective. And instead, I said, I'm gonna take an addiction and I'm gonna add an addiction on top of it. I'm gonna shift my addiction. You know, a lot of times we are addicted to something and it takes so much into our life, right? It's like a black cloud in a way. But it eases its way into our life in ways we don't even realize. But pretty soon we're having a cigarette, you know, we're doing our addiction before we go to work, during work, after work. We're doing it when we're stressed, when we're not stressed, when we're really happy, when we're really sad. So then all of a sudden you have this lack, right? You go, oh my God, okay, I'm at that place now. I normally would grab a cigarette. Okay, I'm a non-smoker. That's great. What do I do now? I have to do something, right? There's something I have to do. I have to replace it with something. And I tried that. I tried carrots. I tried taking a bag of carrots and eating a carrot because I had this hand-to-mouth addiction. Sometimes addiction has different levels to it, right? So for smoking, it wasn't just smoking a cigarette. It was a connection with people. It was a hand-to-mouth addiction. It was a breathing addiction. It allowed me to inhale. It allowed me to exhale. So I had to look into my addiction and I had to look at the layers individually. And I had to replace it with something healthy. So for my breathing, I started doing yoga or I started doing meditation. For the hand to mouth, I started doing carrots, eating carrots and celery, something that I could continuously chew or put into my mouth. and I would bring those, I used to have friends that would smoke. And I would go out on my lunch break and they would be smoking their cigarettes. But I started to look at the addiction. I looked at them being addicted. I ate my little carrots, but I looked at them being addicted. And then I would watch them cough afterwards. I would watch them. I would watch the addiction. But I watched them from a perspective away, from above almost, looking down. And not looking down on the people, like judging them, but looking down at the judgment, looking down at the addiction, not the people, but the addiction itself. And I think that is really the key, is to really take a different perspective of the addiction itself, whether it's soda. We spend so much time drinking soda. And a lot of it's because we're programmed. We're programmed to believe that soda brings life. Live the life you desire. Coca-Cola, Pepsi. If you're having, holiday times, it's family time with Pepsi. Or, the Christmas Pepsi bear on the ice. It's insane how much we are programmed to believe that soda is good for us. That it brings love, it brings happiness, right? It brings that sexy person into our lives. We have a better relationship because of Pepsi. And we don't realize it. We are so programmed in our subconscious mind over and over again with commercials, with radio stations or, radio commercials. And so we keep doing it. We just keep doing it over and over and over again. I was at a gas station the other day and this woman got this big gulp, big gulp of soda. And there was a line of different sodas. There must have been 10 different sodas that she could choose from in this gas station. And she was looking and she was getting excited about it. And then she finally went to Pepsi and just filled up that Pepsi. And I'm not saying that, no, actually I am saying it. Soda's really bad for you. And it's an addiction just like foods. Foods are really bad for you. There's a lot of addictions out there that we don't even realize that we're addicted to. But if we just shift our perspective and we think of something better for ourselves, the minute that we want more for ourselves, that's when you have the power, right? That's when you can choose whether you want to stay in that place, that addiction. You want to stay in that programmed belief of what you were taught or what you were thought to do. Or you can step out of it and you can shift it and walk away. Don't buy those pack of cigarettes, right? Don't buy that 6-pack of beer. Don't buy that soda. You realize that nothing bad is gonna happen. You find that you have so much more power than you ever thought you did. Because in the end, sweet beings, it's all a thought. It's all just a thought. And the thought you keep thinking is simply a belief. So when you stop thinking the same thought over and over again, you can change your belief. You can change your whole world. So you just have to look at your addiction a little bit differently. You just have to shift it. You have to look at it and then you have to shift it. Shift your perspective on it. And that's what helped me. I haven't smoked since 2014. And I don't think I could ever go back. I finally have released that addiction out of me. And it wasn't easy until it was, right? It wasn't easy until I made it easy. It wasn't easy until I told myself, this is easy. But you do have to remove the world. I couldn't have stopped smoking having lighters around. Couldn't have done it. Maybe I could have done it, but for me, I needed to clean up my world. I needed to take away anything that made me think of that addiction. Because again, right, it's all thoughts. So you don't want to be reminded of it. You want to be reminded of something differently. You want to shift your perspective, shift your focus, shift your attention onto something healthy and happy, something that's better for you. So if smoking is something that you are addicted to, make today the day that you don't smoke. Forget the patches. You don't need the patches. You don't need these pills that tell you that you can quit smoking Because when you watch these commercials and you see the quit smoking commercials, if you really listen to it, you'll see this person and she's doing a garden, she's playing with her grandkids, but then in the background, all the different side effects, and they're devastating, they're awful. And that's what the government wants you to do. They want you to take one addiction and then have another problem happen. And then you'll have to be addicted to the pills, or be addicted to pills that will help the side effects. Sweet beings, you are so amazing. You have source within you. You have a guidance. You have the power of source, of your sweet loved ones, of the ancestors from before, of your sweet being, of your angels. They are all guiding you. They are all supporting you. You don't need a patch with nicotine in your arm. You don't need a pill to tell you that you are a non-smoker. You have the power within to quit today. Today. You just have to wake up and say, I'm no longer this addiction. I am not going to allow my addiction to be more powerful than me. And that's what it is. It's an allowance. You either allow yourself to be the powerful one, or you allow your addiction to be the powerful one. And it's your choice. It's our free will. That's what we have. We have free will in us to make a choice, to make a decision. So know that you are so powerful. You can do this. It's just a matter of making the choice to do it. And don't think of the past. You know, we are so addicted to the past. We are addicted to the future. We are addicted to what was the past like, what we did in the past. The past is past. It's gone. It's over. Take what you learned from it and move on into the present where you belong, where the power is the now. The now is everything. The now is right here, right now. This is the time to choose love, to choose light, to give yourself self-love, to put that cigarette out, to throw away those cigarettes, to stop drinking, to do something powerful for yourself if you're into something even heavier. You know, there's a lot of controversy about marijuana, and I'm not going to say that it's not better for your health compared to other pharmaceuticals. That's just my opinion. But just like that can be an addiction. And you have to really watch how certain things come into your life. And just, it seeps into your world before you even know it. Mary, congratulations on getting free from smoking. Thank you for sharing. We're all work in progress. Exactly. Thank you, Mary. Yeah, exactly. And that's what it's about. We are a beautiful work in progress. But we can choose the work. We can choose. We are the shapers. We're the sculptures of our marble, right? I did this post earlier. We're the painters of our canvas. We get to choose what we put on our art. This is a body of art. We can choose to make it beautiful from the outside. We can choose to be healthy. We can choose what we want from it. We can choose to stop eating sugar. We can choose to stop eating, animal products. There is so much that you can choose, that you could put your focus and your attention on, that's healthy for you, that makes you more balanced, that makes you more of a cleanse in your body, that brings you closer to your alignment. These are all choices that we can make. You know, affirmations are a really big thing too. I didn't know it at the time, but I would go to my work before, affirmations was such a big thing. But I would go to my work and I would make a list, and I would type out a list of happy things. I don't need to, I'm healthy now. I breathe easier. I can see clearer now. I want to do more in my life. My body is healthy. I'm saving money. I mean, addictions are very pricey. You save a lot of money when you're not throwing toxins in your body. Isn't that odd? Right? You think that would be the opposite. But we harm our bodies and we pay money for it. That's the programming that's in our heads. That's the programming that's in our heads. So you just have to retrain that programming. Just to look at it differently. Look at your addiction differently. And then shift your focus from it. But so years ago I would make a list of all these affirmations and I would type them up and I'd put them on my bathroom mirror. At the time I didn't even realize they were called affirmations. I just knew that I wanted to focus on what my goal was, what my result was, and not where I was. And now, years down the road with Louise Hay and Wayne Dyer and Abraham, you find that affirmations is an amazing tool because it allows you to retrain your subconscious mind. It allows you to shift your thinking, shift your focus, shift your voice on what you say about certain things. And most importantly, what you say about yourself. The first two words, I am, are the most powerful, powerful words we say to ourselves. I am. I am what? You finished the sentence, right? And for years I woke up as I am a smoker. Until I woke up one day and said, I am not a smoker. I am healthy. I am happy. I am powerful. I am guided. I am love. I am source. I am the universe. I am everything. And I can choose. I can choose what I want to bring into my life. It's all about what you decide to wake up to. What you say to yourself. How you look at your addiction. Hi, Aubrey. That's what it's all about, sweet beings. So please, feel free to ask me any questions at all. Oh, sorry. I'm so happy my phone is working better. I'm here if you have any questions. I can't even tell you, I woke up so guided today to share this experience with you. Aubrey, I've been talking for a while, sweetie, so please listen to this video again, because there's a lot of powerful, powerful points that I know you would love to hear. So is there anyone that has any questions? If not, I will just let go. I really hope these videos, I hope this video particularly, gave you some guidance, some clarity. Made you look at things a little differently. Because that's what it's about. It's about looking at things differently, shifting your perspective. Realizing the power that you are, not the power that your addiction is. Oh, Ian, you're welcome, sweetheart. Namaste, honey. So please share this video, share this on your timeline, share this in your groups. I really believe that this can really help so many beautiful beings to really feel themselves, feel the power that they are, and to really shift their lives. The time is now. It's not yesterday, and it's not tomorrow. It's now. It's now to make that change. It's now to listen to that voice inside you that wants you healthy and wants you happy and wants you to be able to experience so much in this life. Wants you to give so much to your children and your spouse and your family and the world ultimately. So instead of focusing on your addiction, focus on your passion, focus on your love, what you want to do in your life. If you're going to release something negative, then let something positive, let something amazing come into your life, right? If you want to be a writer, start writing. If you want to be a singer, start looking at songs to sing. If you want to do art, start looking at art classes. If you are, if you're smoking because your work is so stressful, then start looking for a new job. If you're doing something addicting because you're in a bad relationship and it helps ease the negativeness of your relationship, then don't let your addiction just be a cover of the dysfunction, of the negativity that's surrounding your life. Instead, look at that negativity and shift that negativity out of your life. Sometimes addiction can simply be a cover-up. It can simply be a Band-Aid to get you through what is really holding you back. But it's not a Band-Aid. It's adding toxins into your body. It's making your life harder. It's taking you away from source, further away from source. It's taking you further away from your inner being. So look at your life. And if you need, or you think you need a substance to make your life better, then look at your life. Don't look at the substance. Look at your life. Look at shifting. Look at making some amazing, powerful, positive changes to that part of your life. That addiction, that substance, that's not doing anything for you, sweet beings. It's your life that you need to look at and shift. That's where the power is. You've got to look at it from the very beginning. You got to zoom in, right? You got to zoom into the core of what you're trying to cover up. And realize that you are so guided, that you are so safe, that you are so healthy and well, and that you have so much support, and there's so much love around you. That if you need to make that change that's going to shift your life, do it today. Make today the day that you do something amazingly powerful for you. Because you'll never be the same again. You'll appreciate that person you were. Because that person you were, that addicted person, you'll appreciate that addiction. Because that addiction made you realize how amazing and beautiful and strong and powerful you really are. Not the addiction, but how powerful you are. I love you so much, sweet beings. I do these videos because I want to share with you. I want to remind you how powerful you are, who you really are. And I hope I do that. If you like these videos, if I resonate with you at all, if I somehow connect to your heart, subscribe below. You'll know when I'm doing live videos. I'm going to start doing all my live videos on this page. I used to do them on my personal page. But I'm going to try to just do them here, and then I can maybe share them. But for the most part, share this page, the Vortex Connections group. And all my live videos will be done here. And, I created a great app, Subliminal Vision Boards. It's a fantastic manifesting app. It comes with 100 different affirmations. You can create vision boards, unlimited vision boards of your addiction. You can say, I'm no longer a smoker. You can have images of health and happiness and beautiful affirmations and then have them flash into your subconscious mind. You can retrain your subconscious mind with my app. It's the most powerful tool out there available. Check it out. It will change your life. I created it to change your life. I love you. Have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for being here with me. I pray that these words of mine shift your perspective on your life and bring you back in here into this beautiful, amazing being that you've always been, that you always will be. Have a beautiful Sunday, sweet beings. Love and light. Namaste.